Give me more, give me more, give me more.
Give me more, 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 give me more. I love Grease.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the After School Special Club podcast. My name is Chris.
My name is Mary.
And it's a week.
It is quite the week. It's so long this week. I think it's more than 7 days.
Oh, yeah. I was like guaranteed. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think this week has been 10 days, really, in reality. I think it's maybe the shifting of the times, the daylight going goodbye times.
Shavings.
Yeah. Is that what's like? There's daylight savings time. Hello, people. Anyway, I need to get to this topic. There's daylight savings.
We're jumping
time.
right in.
Yes, the daylight savings time exists, but
yes.
What is the one that just passed?
Daylight savings.
But why?
They're all called daylight savings.
But that makes no sense because
daylight savings ended.
Yes.
No, daylight savings started, I think, because we're saving light in the morning.
Oh, I always thought that it was saving light for the night.
I don't see. That's the thing is I don't know which one is
Who
which.
Created this? And
I don't know. I was not prepared for this. I didn't research beforehand.
And who continues this? Is what I want to say.
Like, we don't need it anymore because isn't it? I thought it was for farming.
Okay, that makes sense.
But like, we're not farmers anymore.
I mean,
unless you're talking about me farming bells in Animal Crossing.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I mean.
We'll get there.
Hi,
everyone. Welcome back. We have another laid back episode. I feel like I'm talking really quiet compared to normal just because it's been a long week.
Yeah.
My throat hurts. I got really drunk last night. So I'm just like.
You're here. You're existing.
I'm existing.
Yeah.
I did podcast notes on my lunch at work.
Well, here, let's do a sidebar. What's that called?
A tangent.
A tangent. We work retail. So retail during the holidays, like Thanksgiving, it is not just one day you sacrifice.
No.
It is a month. It is 2 months. It is
literally. I've been planning for over a month.
Yes. It is your schedule is all over the place. Your hours are all over the place and you're tired.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when you're tired?
This
is what happens when you're tired.
I've moved too many boxes.
Appreciate your retail service industry people right now during this day.
Yeah. Today
starts the day of appreciation.
Yes. Don't be a bitch because, listen, I will ruin your holiday.
There was speaking of this, I guess we're just jumping into the life portion of this podcast. There was a kid today and his father was like, hey, do you have any more of these, whatever? He's looking for an item, had in the back. Because they all know about the back. And then I went to the back and I brought out a box and the kid started pulling down on the box. Like while I was holding it.
Absolutely not.
And the dad was like talking to this other woman and just like not even this other woman.
There's another woman?
Yeah. He's talking to her.
Ugh.
But
a man is talking? Ugh.
Oh God. To a woman.
Oh God, all bad.
We don't need to hear that. No woman needs to hear a man.
She doesn't want to hear it. Whatever it was, she didn't need to know.
Yeah. Keep it top secret to yourself. Don't tell anyone, even yourself. Yeah, so they started pulling on it. And at that direct moment, I was like, what am I doing here? And I literally took, he didn't even acknowledge me. He was taking stuff from the box and acknowledging my presence. And I ripped the box away and I walked away. I didn't even look back. I was like,
it's what he deserves.
He's what he deserves. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's been really quiet at work, but it's just the overwhelming process of receiving tons of holiday stuff and sorting it and planning where it's going to go. And I've also been I just hired 3 people. So for 3 different job profiles. So I've been training all 3 of them separately because I can't train them together because they're doing different things.
You throw them in a room and you're just train each other.
Exactly. I'm figure it out. I'm this is your goal.
Mm-hmm. Get there. That's it. This is your goal. Get there.
I take a top-down approach to everything, just anything. I'm this is what you're striving for. Break it down and figure it out how to get there.
And they're but I don't need how to log in. Well,
I'm whoa. Now
you're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I was you won't be logging in because that requires me getting you access. And the person who does that, it'll probably be 30 days minimum.
Yeah. So you should just suck it up and just get the job done.
Yeah, just get the job done. You want money?
You have a lot to do tonight. Good work.
Bye. I'm leaving early.
How we internalize our manager.
Yeah, literally. Oh my God. But I don't want to talk about work anymore. So
Yes.
I want to talk about how I locked myself out of my apartment.
Yes. This is a story.
So, and this was after a long day of work. So I get home, I shower, I'm in my pajamas, like free balling it in my sweatpants because I'm like, I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
And I get packages. It is a
Free-balling.
sport. Yeah, it is. And I was winning. And so, you know, I get the notification on my phone, my Amazon packages are here. So I go downstairs. And like I'm also cooking right now. So I'm like halfway there.
So your balls out, just cooking, just like ready for this package to be delivered.
Exactly. And, you know, I sauteed everything. I had everything prepped and like portioned out. I was just waiting for my pasta to boil. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, okay, I'll go down and get my packages. So I go downstairs and I grab my packages and the door shuts behind me, which never happens.
Oh, it's the worst feeling though.
And like, you know, my front door is heavy, but like usually it props itself open if you don't pull it shut. But like this was when it was really stormy and it was like downpouring and it was gusty. And I think like the wind pulled it shut behind me. And so now I'm like on my porch or like on my stoop, barefoot, no underwear.
Free balling.
You know, I'm in my sweatpants, you know. And I'm just like, fuck. Because I don't have a spare key. Mary and I, and it's funny because weeks earlier, I told Mary, I was like, you know, I really need to get a spare key. Like, you know, it's just a smart thing to do to have a lockbox. If you live in a house or an apartment, you know, have a backup. And this is why.
Yeah.
Because I was like, fuck, I'm out here. And like, thank God I had my phone because I got the notification. I just kept it in my hand when I went downstairs. Because I was like, if I didn't have my phone, like, what the fuck was I going to do? Because I was barefoot. I was like, I can't walk to your work and use the phone.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I can't. And like, I probably would have had to like ring my neighbors.
Oh, that would have been the worst. Talking to your neighbors.
Luckily,
that is the worst feeling.
I'm cordial with all of them except for the one that you know about. And so, I mean, like my first thing, I was like, okay, I'm going to ring my neighbor on the second floor because I live on the second floor and I have one neighbor. And I was like, he's incapacitated. He's like 90 and is in a wheelchair and like had surgery and shit. So I'm like, I'm not going to have him come down, but I'm like, maybe he'll go to the window to see who's there. If I keep ringing his bell and I can be like, hey, it's me. Because he knows me. And I'll just have him like throw his keys down. But of course, like his lights are out, like his window's open. I debated yelling his name, but there were a lot of people outside and I was like, I don't want to make a scene.
Yeah.
And his lights are out. So I was like, he's probably asleep because it was like 8 o'clock. So I was like, he's probably asleep. He's 90. Like, what else is he doing?
Sleeping next to the window. He hears you and sees you, but he just falls asleep further.
Right.
It's like,
it lulls him to sleep.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so fuck, that's out of the question. Because I did try ringing him. No response. And so then I'm like, okay, I have to call a locksmith. Like, there's no other option because my roommate was in Fresno for the weekend or the week.
It was just a series of unfortunate events.
Literally.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, keep in mind, I'm cooking. Like, I have the stove is on. I have a pot of pasta boiling. And I was like, okay, this pot is full. Like 4 quarts of water. I was like, this water is gone in like 30 minutes. So I'm like, I have 30 minutes before it's just pasta
burning
in a pot. So I call a locksmith. They're very nice. Because I just Googled like emergency locksmiths, like SF, whatever. And they dispatch someone and he calls me and he's like, okay, like 20 minutes. And I was like, perfect. So I'm sitting outside. I'm just like listening to music on my phone because I'm like, I can't do anything else. Barefoot. I can't walk around anywhere.
Nope. You can't even dance anywhere.
Nope.
To your music. No.
No. So I'm just sitting there.
Glass.
The guy shows up. His name is Tom. He's very nice.
Tom the locksmith.
Yeah. No, literally. And so, you know, this process took like maybe like 30 minutes in total. He gets out his lockpick and my door is open in like 20 seconds. He's like, here you go. And I was like, thanks, Tom.
God, we should just learn how to lockpick. That's the thing.
That was going to be my point of this story after I finish it, is that I should be a locksmith because, I mean, I already told you, but I'll tell them. I paid $250 for this service because I tipped him because he literally saved my life and the life of everyone in my apartment building from catching on fire. Because when I got up there, it was just pasta in a pot. There was no water. And the pasta was burning on the bottom.
The dangerous game.
And it was like gelatinous. It was just like a ball of like goo at that point.
Bon appetit.
So obviously I turned that off first thing. You know, and then I go back down there, I Venmo him and I tip him. So $250 in total.
That's a lot.
And I was like, I should be a locksmith in my free time. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's just a good trade skill to have. Just like know how to unlock things.
Yeah, and keep a lockpick in my butthole so I can.
And then do it in your house, but also maybe potentially other people's homes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you see something you like.
Yeah. Just
swipe
it's
it.
the moral of the story: steal other people's things.
Yeah, learn a trade and steal people's shit.
Yeah, but it's
was
funny
great
because you told me that story. So Chris was texting me during this
the
horrid
whole time.
ordeal, and the day before, I saw an emergency locksmith van drive by.
It was a sign.
Yeah, it was a sign because I looked at it and I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense to have an emergency because it looked like an ambulance type, like it was like flashing, and I was like, huh, that makes sense because people lock themselves out, and if they don't have a key, they have nowhere to get in, and they have, that makes sense.
And it's an emergency.
And literally the day after, I was like, wow.
I was like, Mary, I'm locked out.
I manifested you getting locked out.
Awful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But Tom was great. His name on Venmo said Tom. And I was like, okay.
That's cute.
He was very nice. He shook my hand.
He's like, good job.
I gave him a nice tip. So I feel like, because then he told me, he was like, oh, well, save the number I called you from. It's my personal number.
Sorry.
We're all good.
I'm the president, so I have important calls.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I know I'm distracting you from your work, but
from my Oval Office.
Oval Office. Mm-hmm. Oval Orifice.
Oval Office. It's the FBI. I gotta continue.
And so then so he's like, oh, well, save that number I called you from. That's my personal number. When you need mm-hmm. He said when you need me again.
He knows.
He's like, when you need me again, call me and I'll give you a discount. And I was like, I told him, I was like, please don't curse me. Don't say when.
Yeah. He has his regulars. He gives his this account away to his regulars.
This is what happens when you get older.
Yeah. They're hitting 30.
I'm getting close to 30, so I'm forgetting everything, apparently.
And I'm 29, so I'm practically there.
You're dead.
I have no memories anymore.
You're just bones.
I am.
So that was pretty much the most eventful thing that happened to me this week. I feel like there was something else, but I can't remember now.
Yeah, that sounds.
Oh, I had a dream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. I also have a dream story.
Okay, so I'll continue then. I'll tell my dream story and then I'll ask you about your week. So, I had a dream about our old workplace. Mm-hmm. Because Mary and I used to work together. That's how we met. Mm-hmm. And it resembled what it's like on 420 pre-COVID.
Okay, yeah. I have a perfect picture.
So everyone was being wild. There were people everywhere. I didn't even go inside. Mm-hmm. I got out. And also in my dream, the parking lot was elevated. So you had to climb a ladder into the parking lot. And I don't...
the cars are just floating up there.
Well, that's the thing, because there were cars, Potter. But there was no... it's a dream. So there was no... there's no ramps or anything. So I don't know. The fact that modification was made in my dream, I was like, what does this imply about my thoughts towards that place? Mm-hmm. But anyway, so in my dream, I go and I go to the front door and I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then I go to the coffee shop next door in my dream. And they're under renovation. And instead of, how they have those like lacquered bar tables?
Yeah.
Then those aren't there. It's just cement blocks. And I'm like, what is this like brutalism, minimalist version of this coffee shop?
They're like, we're under construction, so are you.
But there were people in there, but they weren't serving drinks. And I woke up and I was like, what?
Under renovation.
Yeah, I was like, what does this mean?
Yeah, it's always like the weird dreams where you try to think about it. You're like, does this mean something? Because
I don't get
out
it.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I also haven't remembered a dream in weeks. So I was like, why this?
It's important. It's very important.
It's like I'm reliving my early 20s when I worked there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like.
And you're thinking about coffee, caffeine. You're thinking of that building that's being constructed down your street that
I hate.
Yeah, that's an issue.
It's so ugly.
So it's all tied together. Your hatred for that place.
Yep.
Caffeine, because
you had to
bust it. And then the old place of work, which
right.
was not the best of places. Not the best of place, not the worst of place. No, not the best place.
And we used to go to that coffee shop on our breaks.
So maybe it's the culmination of everything.
Yeah. And I think maybe the symbolism of the parking lot being elevated and having to climb up is like symbolic of the struggle of having to work there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that chaos is what it feels like working there.
Like that store would have a ladder leading to a parking lot, and they wouldn't have a plan of how people are going to park there.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay. So tell me about your week.
So my week, wow, again.
And your dream.
I think last week I said that this last week was a blur. This week was also a blur. It was a fast blur though. It was like Sonic.
It was motion blur.
Yeah, Sonic the Hodgepodge. Like super fast.
Sonic the hot plate.
Yeah, I love a good hot plate. That reminds me of one of those restaurants that tries to market off of like things but not call it the actual thing. Sonic the hot plate.
Sonic the hot plate.
It's a hot plate restaurant.
Hot plate.
Yeah. I'll start with my dream first because that's what I remember most vividly, and it's very short. I just like woke up, and it was actually this morning. I woke up this morning, and there was a song. My Chemical Romance has a song, "Teenagers." It's like teenagers scared the living shit out of me. That song,
a classic.
Yes, I woke up hearing that song, like it was playing, and like it was like a burst. It was like teenagers scared them, and I woke up and I was like, "Whoa." Then my cat was right there going like, food.
It was Buddy.
Yeah, it was Buddy.
He was singing.
He was. He's like, teenagers cat. And then I woke up and he's like, meow, I'm just a normal cat.
I swear, normal cat.
Yeah, I don't talk. I don't sing. I'm not into emo rock. Sure, Buddy.
Sure, he would be.
He would be in emo rock. But anyway, so that got me thinking there's been so many times where I've done like audio, like maybe not visual dreams, but like I could hear.
Yeah.
Audio.
Yeah, same actually when I think about it.
It's interesting. Maybe it's because we listen to so much music in our ear holes all the time.
It's true. To quell my social anxiety, always leave the house with headphones on so I don't have to be cognizant of people around me. One of these days I'm going to get shot because I'm not aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true because I'm a very visually aware person. So I think that's why I feel safe always listening to music in public because I'm like,
yeah, no, for sure. Like it's like lasers just like darting. Because you have to see if a car's gonna hit you. Like I wait
will.
And I'm like,
they will.
Just go. They will hit you.
They'll try. They want to hit you.
They do. They want to take it out on you.
Yeah.
All their problems in their lives.
God.
But I'll get to my week a little bit later. Another thing that I was thinking about while you were discussing your week was the key situation. I have a story about locking myself out of my house and also my car. And the car one is more embarrassing than the house one because I was super excited to work at the museum. So the Cincinnati, or not Cincinnati History Museum is in this like really historical building. It used to be a train station. It's super cool.
Yeah.
My dad's friend helped do the artwork for the whole like dome. So the huge dome.
Michelangelo?
Yes, he is Michelangelo.
Wow.
Not the Ninja Turtle, to my disappointment.
Yeah, sadly.
I wanted that, but I got some old guy instead. But anyway, I was super excited to work there because I've always wanted to work for a museum. I always wanted to be Blathers from my Animal Crossing, which we'll get to later.
My dream.
But I really was excited and I was like, oh my God, I have this opportunity. And I started working there, like at the door, like greeting, like being that person. And I got like a locker and I was like super cool. And I was like, yeah, this means I can like get my foot in the door and like actually like work at this museum like full time. Because this was like a volunteer thing basis. And so my first day went pretty well, pretty excellent. I made like a friend at the front desk.
Love that.
Like, it was great. And they were like, yeah, let's hang out. Like, here's my number, blah, blah. And I was like, cool, dope.
Cool.
And then I go outside and I was like, fuck, I left my keys in the car. Damn it. I don't have my phone with me because my phone is in the car. So I have to use a landline. I have to use their phone in the museum. I had to run back in a panic because I was panicked because I was late to work. My other job, my money-making job.
Right, the one that's actually supporting you.
Yes. So I was going to be late to there and I had no way to contact them. So I ran in and I was like, oh, I'm like locked out. Like I need to call somebody.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, okay. But they saw me like sweating and like anxious. Like I'm like, I need a phone call, you know?
And they're like,
okay. This is their first day. And I called and then I paid for I guess it's AAA. It's like people $300.
Yeah.
To open the door. It took him like 20 seconds. I was like, here you go, $300. I was like, fuck. And then I never got a call back for my next shift.
Wow.
So yeah, it's probably because they saw me panic and was like,
they were like, absolutely not.
This girl doesn't know how to take care of herself. Doesn't take care of her car. She doesn't know how to take care of herself. She won't know how to take care of this museum.
Right. Exactly.
That's exactly where they went.
That's exactly how their mind went.
Can't take care of car. Can't take care of museum. Can't take care of us. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Who do you think you are?
They probably have so many people like sludging through the door going like, please let me work here. You know, I was probably just
You were probably one of the better ones.
Probably.
Sometimes I think that. I'm like, whenever I have like a low self-esteem moment, I'm like, I'm probably one of the better, worst people.
That's true. I feel like you are one of the better people, not worse. I'm not gonna put worse in there. You can put worse.
You are the worst person.
No, I do not believe that. You heard it here, folks. I do not believe
it's on camera. It's on tape.
On camera. I can't take that back.
I'm gonna just loop this part.
you're
affirmation.
Not, yeah.
My morning affirmations. It's just you saying you're the best person.
You're the best person. You're the best person.
You're the best person.
That's how you wake up every morning.
My alarm. You're the best person. You're the best person.
Like, it's nice to wake up to reality. But that person that got the number for, she was really cool. And she asked me out on a date.
Wow.
She was like, you're really cute. And I was like, oh, I'm flattered. Like, I can't because I'm not interested, but thank you. She was very cute.
Thank you.
I was very flattered because she was very cute.
You're like, oh, little old May?
Little May?
May?
You want to date May? Shucks.
Well, Shug.
Oh, Shug. I call her Shug. No, thanks, Shug. She's like, we weren't even that close. How can you give me nicknames? Don't call me that. Yeah, so that's my story with that. And then I guess getting into the house, that's my other story, which I still have dreams about related to dreams. It's all connected.
Wow.
It's a very cerebral episode. But I lived in just a normal house, 2-story with like a garage. Mm-hmm. So there was like the garage and then there was a little driveway there. Mm-hmm. And my room was above the garage. Mm-hmm. And there was a side window where there was like a hill. So like it wasn't that far up from my room, the other window. And I locked myself out. Mm-hmm. And I think it was after school. And I was like still developing in my brain. So I was like, I went into panic mode. And this is before cell phones. Like really, like I didn't have a cell phone in grade school. And I didn't really have a cell phone until like late high school.
Yeah, I only had a phone in high school, I think. I remember.
Yeah. So no, cell phone. Man, it's crazy to think that.
Right? Because it's so intertwined with us now.
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone so much now. But so I was like, fuck, how am I going to get inside? Like, I'm trapped for life. Like, I didn't think.
You're like, I'm never leaving.
Yeah, I didn't think in like terms of like, oh, someone's going to be home in a few hours. I thought I'm going to die on this porch.
Yeah, I'm done for. No one's ever coming home.
Immediately that. Like, I just imagine my bones withering away and just like a rabid dog just coming up and eating me. And I was like, I can't let that happen.
No, I simply couldn't.
No. So I tried like getting in the side window and like trying to get the window because sometimes I left it unlocked, which was very smart, I guess. And so I tried like getting the window and I couldn't. And then my neighbors, I guess, were looking at me through their window. And we made eye contact, but that was it. Then they drew the blinds. They're like, "Whoa, don't want to be involved in that drama."
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Help!"
At least they didn't call the police.
That's true. I mean, I was a little chubby, like adolescent girl. Like
true, like they weren't concerned.
Yeah, that's actually a good MO though. Like,
they were like, "We just don't want to see that."
Yeah. They're like, "Ooh, no," and I was like, "But please
help."
So then I was like, "No, okay, I'll go to the front." And then I actually tried every window, even the one above the garage. Yeah. So like I like straddled the there was a porch and like I straddled the rail on like the side to try. I don't know why I tried this. It was like a not 20 foot, but it was like at least like a 10 foot.
Oh yeah.
12 foot drop down to the driveway.
Down to death.
And I was like dangling. I just imagine this is the front of the house. I just imagine people like driving by and just seeing like just going like, oh, trying to get the window open. Oh, that didn't work because I was like, I think I can't do this. Why would I think that this is possible? Because I put my foot on the what is that called? Like when the gutter, there's a drain that goes down in front of the house. I don't know what that's called.
Like a boop, 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 boop.
It's like it helps the water drain.
It's like it's a pipe.
Yes. Yeah. It's literally a pipe.
I think it has a name, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't own a home.
I don't own a home, so I don't. Why would I know?
Yeah. But I tried like jumping, like not jumping, but I tried like putting my foot on there. And I think I was like really influenced by Lara Croft, like Tomb Raider.
You're like, I've been playing a lot of Tomb Raider.
Yeah, so I got this. Like it's easy. Yeah. She makes it look easy. And I was like, no, this is not going to happen. And finally I tried the first like window, like in the front, of the porch where there's a porch and like easy to get up and like through. So that was open.
Of course.
The easiest one was open.
Of course.
Right in the front.
And you didn't even try it until the end.
Exactly. That's me. So I opened it up and then I started climbing through and the curtains, like not the curtains, but the shades were down. So I was like making all these noises like and like the curtain was like and I was like climbing through and my dogs freaked out.
Of course.
Because they thought they couldn't see me because I was behind like a curtain and a shade. So all they hear is like and they're like they started like barking and like going crazy. And like I just finally like roll over like on the ground because I just hit the floor really hard. And then they started licking me because they knew who I was.
Right.
And then literally like 20 minutes later, like my family comes home.
Of course. You're like, you have no idea what I've been through.
The drama I went through.
Wow.
So I've also been in a similar situation.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I don't think I've ever been locked out of my parents' house when I was a teenager. We had a spare key. We always left our garage, like one of our garage windows open, and my dad's tool chest was there. And there was a spare key in the top, so you could open the window and like open the top of the like toolkit and like fish around for the key to the front door. So like I feel like I don't think I was ever locked out.
That's smart.
Because I feel like we always had that safeguard.
It's a good one. Just keep a toolbox.
Just keep a toolbox. Put a toolbox on my stoop.
Yeah.
But the toolbox needs a key, and I lose the key for the toolbox, and I'm like,
no. You should put like, it's like a hidden key, like one of those like shrub keys that you like hide, but use the toolbox, and you just put like a patch of grass on it. It's hidden.
I'd bury a key in my neighbor's plants.
You're like digging.
I have to dig through it like a dog. I'm like.
But you're being really suspicious, so people think it's weird.
Yeah, they're like,
is he burying something? And you're like, shing.
Shing.
You're on the street.
Oh, my key.
Don't need that anymore. I used it. I used it all up.
Use.
Yeah. Single use key. It's not a skeleton key. It's a single use key.
Oh my God. How pointless.
It's compostable.
Yeah. Biodegradable.
Yeah. You just,
Boing.
It's good for the environment to use single use keys.
Yeah.
All that metal out there.
Oh God.
Such a waste.
Terrible.
Yeah. It's destroying the earth.
I mean, that's it. That's it for my pathetic life stories for the week.
Yeah.
Because the rest of my week was a blur as well.
Yeah, I don't even think I talked about my week. So, we both talked already about Elden Ring with each other. But there's some news that you had about Elden Ring.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about this story and the reason why I put it in the notes was because I was like, of course, like, so, for those of you who don't know, there was a, closed network testing, I believe it's called, for Elden Ring. So I think you could put your name in a like lottery and you could get chosen to test the game. So
who got chosen for the lottery though, to like be able to put their name in?
Anybody? I think anybody.
Oh, okay.
And they drew X number of people, I believe.
I just find it hard to believe that streamers weren't like at the top of that list somehow or something.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there were people who got like favors, you know, because of their notoriety. But like, so yeah, there was closed network testing and people got codes for it. And so naturally, people were selling codes on eBay for upwards of $350. Of
course.
Minimum being like $200.
Oh my God.
Which is, mind you, twice the price of the collector's edition of the game, which is $100. And I'm like, I'm like,
yeah,
y'all. And it's just, it blows my mind because I'm like, I don't know who I'm more upset at, the people selling the codes or the people who would buy them.
I know.
When the game comes out in like 3 months.
Yeah. And you could literally buy the collector's edition order that
for half that price.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. I feel like the people that are selling those are also the people that have PS5s just in their closet.
Yeah.
Stacked up. Yeah.
Cause I'm like, I'm just like, do people not like, cause listen, I'm impatient. I'm an Aries. Like, I'm impatient, but I'm like, I don't want to play Elden Ring so bad that I'm going to pay $350 for a test code.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, like, I guarantee you it's not even, like, full game access. So I'm like, what? Huh?
Yeah,
maybe I'm just too pragmatic. Like, I'm a very pragmatic person, so I'm just like, this doesn't make sense to me. But, I mean, clearly there are people out there who are like, do whatever I can to get my hands on it early.
Yeah, and I can understand. So I would understand people that are spending money on the PS5 right now for that money. I mean, it kind of sucks because you're giving money to scalpers, but I understand that because it's been so long for the PS5, like that wait. Yeah. It's been like a year plus.
And it's still going.
So I could see why people finally break down and they're like, fine, I'll buy it for the extra couple $100. Right. It sucks, but I'm going to.
Right.
But this test, it's like, you just wait for the game. Because it's not,
wait for the game.
Yeah, it's not even like the fully fleshed out game.
Yeah.
And it cuts you off and it's like, it's essentially a demo. Like it is a demo, essentially. So you're paying that for a free demo, essentially.
So
it's crazy.
But I was just like, yeah, of course, because like any opportunity that people have to make money off of something that they know people want, they will.
Oh, absolutely. That's the world we live in now.
That's life.
I think now, like the internet, the interwebs.
The net.
Yeah, I feel like, and I was also like researching about like NFTs because now video games are trying to get into NFTs, like which is crazy. And of course, on the top of the list is EA.
Oh yeah,
EA is like on the top of that list, going like, how do we get money from this NFT thing? Because I see other people getting money, and I want money,
and I would like more money.
More money, not just money. I want more money.
More money. I have money, but I could use some more.
So they're trying to arrange like, there's a couple. Square Enix too. They're on that list. Yeah. So they're trying to come up with like a way that people can start like selling stuff on like in a game, like selling stuff they have or collect with like for real money, like financial money. So it's kind of crazy. It's like, is it like skins you can get, like weapons, armor? Like I don't know.
Right.
Like collectibles you can get, and
the idea would be like only you can have it because it's an NFT. Yeah. So you pay for it and it's yours, and no one else can have it.
Yeah. So basically like in a game, like how to translate that into the gaming world, the gaming experience. Right. Which is like kind of messed up because I don't know.
That's interesting. I wonder, that makes me, I just wonder like, how do you have the bandwidth to pull that off? Because it's like, I don't know. I'm thinking like a game like Fortnite or something. Well, Fortnite's free.
Yeah, I feel like...
Does it have in-game purchases?
I think so. Man, I haven't played Fortnite. It's been out forever, too.
Yeah. Well, but I'm just thinking, like, take a game like that, right? That has, like, millions of people playing online. Let's say that there were purchases, and it's, like, who is creating the NFTs? Is it the studio? Is it the publisher? Like, is it the players create... Like, let's say it's, like, a custom skin or, like, a custom weapon or something. Or like I wonder who is creating it and then profiting off of it. Because you would think like the developer or the publisher, but I'm like, do they have the bandwidth to create? Because the thing with an NFT is like, there's only one. Yeah. That's why it is what it is. So I'm like, you'd have to create millions of custom things.
I feel like it's something that they see people doing and they want a part of it, but they don't know how to.
Right. Because that's just not like economical from like a labor standpoint.
Yeah. And like it's not really, I feel like they would not lose money, but they would lose players' respect. Yeah. And like I feel like when you lose players' respect, like a lot of times like you financially lose. Yeah. So I don't, I read that article today and I was like, why? I'm still confused about NFTs. Like I still don't really know like what the heck it is.
I feel the way about NFTs that I feel about like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I vaguely understand how it works, but I don't. And that's that. And I don't do research, so I continue to live in the dark.
Yeah. And I see people making like thousands of dollars off this like cryptocurrency stuff, and I'm just like, I should get on that.
Well, and I always tell myself that too, because I'm like, Chris, you know that you are obsessive, and when you want to know something, you learn everything you can about it and lose sleep. So I'm like, I could easily be taking advantage of investments like Bitcoin, like that kind of shit. I could be banking right now, but I'm like, but the amount of maintenance it requires, that's what turns me off about it. Cause I'm like, I don't want to have to check my things every day.
It's a baby.
Make choices about, oh, should I take my money out of this thing? Should I put more money in this thing? Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And plus it's like, it is risky. So it's like, it's good to take risks, but a lot of people, when they start out initially, they give it like thousands of dollars. They start with like thousands of dollars or like $2,000 or $3,000. And I'm like, I'm not mentally in a place where I feel comfortable to do that. Right.
Because the thing is, if I were to put that much money in, I would have to, like, I would be so anxious about it. I would be checking it like every hour. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm not made of money. So it's like I can't just be throwing money into like Bitcoin and like investing.
And plus it's all insider trading. Like it's the people that are making the most amount of money from this. Like I'm talking like higher up.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the people that are on Reddit now that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars off this. But those people, it's all insider trading. So it's they know before everybody else.
Right.
So it's like you can never really take full advantage of the system because the system has you essentially and us.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like it could go sideways really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to take risks, but not like with my money.
I feel like it's like, I think of that as the same as if I would go to a casino and sit at the blackjack table and like wager money. I feel like it's the same kind of mental things that I go through with the NFT thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. It's great.
And that's it.
That's it. No, but I thought that was interesting. I really hope that it doesn't really... I hope that they don't figure it out how to do it.
Same.
I hope they don't know how to do NFTs in games.
I hope that they just give it up.
Games are a sacred space. Let's keep it sacred.
Exactly. Speaking of, PlayStation 5 just had its 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane. Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Mary and I are PS5 owners, by the way.
Yeah, we are. Proud parents. We're proud. We're like proud parent, like on the back of our car, the bumper sticker.
Oh my
it's like,
God.
Proud parent of a PS5.
Wait, we need to start writing down our t-shirt ideas because the last episode we had really good ideas, and I want a shirt that's like proud parent, and on the back it's a PS5.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I remember that. Yeah, it was November 12th, so that was yesterday. You know, we record these podcasts a week before they release, so yesterday was the 12th. It was Friday. And I wrote in my notes, on November 12th, the PS5 turned 1 year old. Goo goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga.
That's it. That's how we celebrate.
And President and CEO Jim Ryan posted on their blog.
Jimbo Ryan.
Jimbo.
I always call him that.
Jimbo Rye.
Yeah.
He posted, a busy year indeed, and we are just getting started with PS5. The imaginative game creators and publishing partners we work with have launched more than 360 games on PS5. Additionally, there are currently more than 25 games in development for PS5 at PlayStation Studios, so these would be exclusive PS titles, which is super exciting. And obviously we know a bunch of them. Yeah. Some of them, not a bunch of them, you know, but like Ragnarok, you know, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon. Yeah. And some others.
Others especially.
Yeah. So, oh God. Yeah.
The Others starring Nicole Kidman. That's a movie you don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Let's go on.
And he went on to say, these are some fun metrics for you. PS5 gamers have collectively played more than 4.6 billion hours.
Whoop, whoop. We're losers.
We contributed to that.
We played
because Mary and I have PS5s.
Yeah. 1 billion hours I put in on that thing.
And broadcasted more than 26 million hours of content.
Nice.
Can you guess the number one most played game? We just talked about it.
Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like Fortnite.
Can you guess the second one?
Apex.
No.
Give me a minute.
It's a fish.
It's a fish?
The acronym is a fish.
Catfish. Are you catfishing me right now, Chris?
Yeah.
Is it not really a thing?
It's the braids. These aren't real.
Yeah. It's a fish.
Call of Duty. COD.
Ew. Don't bring that up in this house.
I'll just go down the rest of the list because these are all games that I don't care about.
Okay. I mean, you lost me at Call of Duty.
FIFA. NBA.
Oh my God.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, okay.
Destiny 2. MLB The Show.
Next show.
Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Okay.
Oh, Demon Souls.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And then another NBA.
Wow, a lot of sports fans out there with PS5s.
Right? And because it was the fourth most played was NBA 2021, and then apparently NBA 2022 is already out, even though it's 2021 still.
I mean, to be fair, I guess there's not too many games out right now for the PS5, but...
That's true. But they really said go sport.
Yeah, literally. They went go team on that one. I'm not there for that, but... I guess sports games do have something going for it because they look so good. Like...
I was going to say, they look so hyper realistic now.
Yeah. So that's cool. So maybe like people were really excited to see like how it would look on the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also with sports games, there's one every year. That's why when you go to like retro game stores or like mom and pop stores, it's all sport. There's a whole section just called sports games.
Yeah.
Everything's like a penny. Many. Yeah. Because there's so many every year. They pump out more and more.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It is interesting because I just have zero interest, obviously, in sports. And so I've never played sports games.
Well, I feel like if they keep pumping it out year after year, they have to follow the same formula, really, and only change certain things. Yeah. So it's not very I don't know. It just doesn't seem to, like, I can't invest a lot of time into it.
And I guess if you're playing sports games, like, you're playing it for the sport, where it's like I play games for, like, story.
Yeah.
And that. So it's like I want to wait, 4 years for a sequel to a game that I really liked.
Yeah, it's true.
Versus, like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't have any interest in sports games.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's the list so far, which is it's just interesting to me how really heavy it is with sports games. And I know, like, there aren't a lot of games out, but you would think even, like, there would be people who would be playing, like, the PS5 versions of PS4 games, where you get the graphical update.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Nope. I guess no one else is playing already 100 hours of Dragon Quest 11 on the PS5. That's a PS4 game.
Just Mary.
Just me. That's crazy, though. I can't believe the PS5's been out for a year.
I know.
I'm going to put a little birthday hat on it, on my little PS5.
You should. Get with the string.
Yeah, like all across it. I break it in the middle, and the mean, like,
the
doing
string
that.
snaps because the PS5 is so huge.
Yeah, it's like, and then it breaks, and I'm like, oh God, no, I gotta get a new one. I can't. Fuck. Yeah.
I can't believe it took me like 9 months to get one.
Yeah. I do have the Model 1 though version.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm flexing right now.
I have the original PS3.
Mm-hmm. Together they form PS8.
Both of us panicked because we couldn't count.
PS8.
We couldn't do simple mental math. Yeah, I do think it's cool. Owning the original PS3 is cool because it was before they started region locking their consoles. So I was able to play a lot of Japanese versions of games. And that was when I was still studying, or like when I had first started studying Japanese, because I didn't get a PS4 until I graduated college. So it was nice because I was able to play like some of my favorite Final Fantasy games in Japanese, and like
that's cool.
That really helped me like with vocabulary and grammar and like listening comprehension, reading, because I would have subtitles on and I would have to read them
pretty quickly.
So yeah. So I cherish it a little bit more than some of my other PlayStation consoles for that reason.
That makes sense.
Mary, we both also beat House of Ashes. House of Asses.
So that game is hilarious and corny and fun and also anxiety inducing.
All in one.
I think House of Ashes, which is part of the Dark Pictures, is it anthology?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that one is my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. I finished it, and I think I said that to you like immediately. I was like, this is my favorite one.
Yeah, it's so good.
I just feel like they, like each one, I think gets better and better. Like I feel like they're genuinely taking our feedback and like improving upon the things that fans were like, and like adding stuff that makes it more enjoyable. And I just, and like the environments were so good. And I think I also just like, I really liked most of the characters, which I didn't really for the past ones. I didn't play Little Hope. That's the only one I haven't played. But like Man and Medan and like the previous ones, like there was only like one or two characters that I was like, oh, I love these characters. But like House of Ashes, I was like, I think save for like two people, I like all of the characters.
Yeah.
Salim is my husband, but
yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there was two characters that I didn't really care about if they lived or died.
And they lived because you and I are perfectionists.
Yeah, seriously. So. The whole time I was like, they're all going to live. I'm going to make every choice. They're all going to live. And then like, I wouldn't let them die.
No. And it was funny because I beat it before you, and then I watched Mary play like the first half probably.
Yeah.
So, and it was just interesting because like I attempted this time to play the characters the way that their traits are listed. So it's like I chose things that maybe I wouldn't necessarily have done personally.
I'm surprised.
And they still all lived.
I'm surprised that more people didn't die when you were trying to fit into their personalities, because Eric is a dick.
Oh, fuck Eric.
And I like giving into his dickness. Like, I'm sure, everyone's gunning for him to die.
Well, and I haven't done this with any of the previous games, but I really want to, is I kind of want to do a death run.
Yeah.
Because now that I've played it the way that I want to, I feel like I also want to go through and kill everyone.
Yeah, to see how fast. I was interested to see like what happens to the game when everyone dies so quickly.
Right,
because
I do wonder like how many opportunities does each character have to die?
Mm-hmm.
And like what happens, if you kill them all at that first opportunity, does it just like what happens? Like does the game just end?
Yeah, I don't know. And I was watching someone there's somebody I watched, Skylander.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing through it. And they said there was like around 63 ways to die.
Wow.
Like 63 death animations in the game.
Wow.
Around that number. I don't know if they meant like individual characters or just like
in total. Probably in total.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it was so funny because I was watching how they played it, and they played it 2-player. So I want to play it in 2-player mode because you can like interact with each other.
Yeah.
It's not like the other ones where you would pass the controller and like, or you would like hand back the controller or have 2 controllers and it just switches who's playing. This one, like you're simultaneously playing and simultaneously you're seeing something they're not seeing.
Right.
But you combine together. It was so cool watching because they streamed with 2 of the vantage points at the same time. Mm-hmm. So for example, like in the very beginning when Rachel and Nick are, canoodling in the tent, the other player was Eric getting off the helicopter. So the person that was playing Eric getting off the helicopter had no idea Rachel and Nick were getting it busy. So he had no idea. So when you play it in the first, like one player, you see both sides.
Right.
You see
it
like,
cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny because then they both come together and they start talking to each other. And then like you can kind of get sassy. Like it's so cool the way they did that.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I think the 2-player mode in these games are like, it's just something else. Like I feel like they're really revolutionizing that type of.
Yeah, that kind of multiplayer, because it's such a unique multiplayer experience.
Yeah, because it's not guns, it's not shooting. It's
right.
like story heavy, story oriented.
Branching trees.
Yeah, it's like those books you used to read that used to like choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
It's choose your own adventure with somebody else. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I liked the story. Like, I mean, full spoilers right now because I'm gonna talk about it. Mm-hmm. I thought that like the whole like alien turn could have been very contrived, but it actually wasn't. Like I didn't feel like, oh, like of course they're aliens. Yeah,
no, it was really, really cool. And it was definitely I know you haven't seen this probably, Stargate. I thought of Stargate. Okay. Well, Stargate's a movie where they're in the Egyptian pyramids. Mm-hmm. So it's like Egypt, desert.
Right.
And they're there with archaeologists excavating things, which like that's what a part of it was in House of Ashes, where those people that were going there just to get the artifacts. And then in the movie, it turns out like all these crazy stuff starts happening and you don't really know what's going on. And then these aliens are just trying to like kill people.
Yeah.
So I immediately was like, oh, it's like a Alien and it's like Stargate. It's so cool. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. I've never seen a game go that direction before.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And again, like the environments were really well done. The part where Rachel falls and she lives, you wake up in the pit. Mm-hmm. And it's just like blood and guts.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was so gross. Mm-hmm. And it also gave me like that like amnesia feeling where it's like there's something in the water.
Yeah, no, that was definitely like.
And you're like trying to avoid it.
Yeah, because I turned the camera around to see it.
Yeah.
Because you can see the bubbles and the bubbles were following you. And I was like, ooh, that got me. I was like, my anxiety was peaked. Whoop, whoop. And the person that I watched playing through when they were both playing, also they killed like everybody. It was really funny. I got to see a lot of deaths that way. I thought it was really funny because one of them didn't know how to do the breathing thing.
Oh yeah.
So they kept fucking up. They're like, fuck. It's really funny. But
I can't breathe.
Yeah, they got to that point, and that was the first time I think one of the players was like, the pit. They were like, ooh, this is terrifying. It's creepy. I don't like this. Yeah. Yeah,
it was very good suspense and like I liked the creature design. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
And then I watched the extra features, the bonus features that you would get. So I watched an interview with Ashley Tisdale, and then I watched the designers talk about the monsters and how they created them. Mm-hmm. That was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of that stuff yet.
Well, it was so funny, like watching, because Ashley Tisdale talked about how they were filming and like the mocap and like having that big headgear on,
Right.
like walking around. She was like, it just felt so heavy. Like I had to like sit there and like hold my neck.
Yeah.
It was like so heavy.
That's got to be such a interesting experience, like for actors, like who that's not like if you're not like primarily a mocap actor, because it's got to be so interesting to like act and convey the same motions and like facial expressions, but you have this weird skin suit, this heavy ass helmet, and like a camera and like a light in your face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would be so distracted. I don't know. I'm like, I guess you just like put it out of your mind, but I'm just like, what a weird situation.
Yeah. Can you imagine being like a theater actor or actress, like giving serious roles and like learning lines and like being like, theatrical, and then going into that and being like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to pretend that I'm in a cave? There's like people walking around me in like leotards,
right?
like, with like lights on.
I'm always fascinated by that behind the scenes stuff. It's really cool. It's like, I feel like I talked about this before, but the woman who did Lady D, this character acting, was like a theater actress, like Shakespeare, like that kind of like classical theater.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And like so she was like, it was really interesting because like she was like, you could see the monitors, and she was like, I was also pretending that I was like 9 feet tall or whatever. And so she was like, I would try to like watch myself and like try to move in the way that I would imagine a really tall person moving.
That's cool.
And I'm like, that's really cool. Cause like, I feel like a lot of people talk about with like Lady D, they're like, oh, like she doesn't move very fast. Like it's not scary. And I'm like, well, yeah, like it's going for, I think, more like realism, where it's like, if you were actually that tall, like you probably wouldn't be able to move swiftly.
Yeah. And she has a tight dress.
Yeah.
Like she can't move in that tight dress. Plus,
right. And she's got the hat. She can't,
the wind.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They purport,
So yeah, and it is interesting hearing people talk about like their approach to mocapping characters, and the mindfulness towards it.
Yeah.
So
it's really cool. House of Ashes, I give a 95%.
Same.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
96.
Yeah. Technically it's a movie, so I rated it on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
That's all I got, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's all. I think that's it. It's good. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
We're going to leave it here.
We did it again.
Oops. I did it again.
Ooh. Brittany's free.
Brittany is free. God bless.
Yeah.
All is right in the world.
Yeah. So that's a good way. That's a good way to end it. Brittany's free.
Yeah, Brittany's free. And if you want to also be free, you can listen to us for free.
Like where you did that.
Yeah. On iTunes, Spotify, Apple. That is iTunes. I don't know why I said that. Amazon.
I mean, Apple owns iTunes, so yeah.
Yeah, you can listen to us anywhere pretty much. You can watch us on YouTube also. You can do both. I recommend doing both. Put the video on mute and listen to us on your platform of choice. Stream us. Help us get those views, those clicks.
Yeah.
So we can move on up in the world.
Yeah. Move on up. Finally. We'll get there.
One day.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.